Hey, it's Dan, and I just wanted to do an update on some PPP, EIDL, and stimulus shenanigans that are going on right now, and just update you on some things that I've heard that are happening around that I thought I'd share with everybody. Before I do that, please like and share this video, subscribe, and send it to your friends. First things first, there's a Texas mayor. I love this one. She had really restrictive rules as far as sheltering in place. You couldn't go out. She was caught today at the nail salon. So all of you are locked in your house. This broad was out getting her nails done. Okay, so I thought that was funny. Let's talk about the fabulous people at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. They got caught red-handed, okay, getting this money that they shouldn't have gotten. They were given preferential treatment from the lenders, and they went out and got $20 million, and none of us would have ever known about it, okay? But because they're a public company and because it got released through JP Morgan, we found out about it. Potbelly, still another company with 440 restaurants, they can't be reached for comment about this. And then the final one is Shake Shack, who got their $10 million, but they're doing the right thing and giving it back, which again, they only are giving it back and doing this because they got caught, okay? They were given preferential treatment from JP Morgan that they never should have been given, okay? And if you see a pattern here, it's JP Morgan. And the problem with these loans is that they went out to their bigger customers. They didn't go to the mom and pop, $300,000 a year sales company. They went to the bigger companies and profited by putting these larger loans together, okay? So you can't blame them, but that's not the idea of a pandemic money and the problems that everybody's going through right now. So the other thing is there's a ton of class action lawsuits that are getting filed across the country. California and New York especially. You're seeing, again, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, US Bank. They're all having the same problems where these loans were put together and they were given them to the larger clients were given preferential treatment, and it was not supposed to be that way. Now, here in California, I'm in Southern California in Orange County, where they have a problem is that certain things you cannot share data. Now, this may be like this in all 50 states, but here in California, there's a particular law that you cannot share data without someone's direct consent. And even if you share the data, even advertising data, it's considered a sale. And these key people can be held responsible for damages for this. So it's, like I've said, it's going to be a lawsuit festival, and you're going to see a tremendous amount of this during this time. The SBA, when I spoke to them again, keep telling me how overwhelmed they are and that they never should have been given this program. It should have been given to the Treasury Department. But what they did, which was wrong, especially with the EIDL loans, is the number that you were given, things were supposed to be processed A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, in the order that the loans were signed up for, and they were not. There are people out there that have been denied the loans, like me, who have still never heard the reason for the denial, okay? And we've never heard, any follow-up to the grant proposal. And again, I was given the advice early on to send a letter along with my original application asking for the $10,000 grant. And there was dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of people that did that with the original applications that wrote separate letters. And they're going to have a real problem with those people, especially with litigation. Couple other things. Bad news, meatpacking unions right now have talked about how 10% of all beef production is offline right now. There's going to be supply problems that we've never seen in our lifetimes. 25% of all the hogs, pork production is offline right now. People are sick at these plants. Some of these plants can't get employees to work. They've got real problems with this. And the unions are talking about this, how this is going to be a supply problem, so get ready for this. And again, this is the type of thing that doesn't happen today or tomorrow, but in time. But 10% of the beef not being around, that's not going to get better. It's going to get worse, and you're going to see that. We're seeing people like onion farmers that have so much onion production that they have to throw away the onions. They've given them to the homeless shelters that are open. There's no hotels buying them. There's no restaurants buying them. Think of the fast food places and the hotels and the caterers and everybody that would normally buy onions that aren't buying onions right now. These people are done, okay? We have a local restaurant here called Norm's. Norm's 2 weeks ago did something that was pretty unique where I got an email from them. To give you an idea, this is one of those 24-hour-a-day places where they've got, you've got a big menu. They've got specials hanging on the window. It's a chain restaurant here, but it's one of those places that you could take a group of people and someone can get breakfast at 10 o'clock at night. Someone can get the steak, eggs, soup, salad, dessert, shenanigan meal that they've got hanging on the window, soup and salad for $7, that type of thing. They sent an email that said, if you spend $10 with us, we will give you 30 uncooked eggs. And I thought it was a joke. I reopened the email and I called them. No, yeah, come down, spend $10 and we'll give you 30 eggs. I begged my daughter to go with me. We go down there, and sure enough, between the two of us, we spent $20. They gave us 60 free eggs, okay? Which is crazy. Today's email, if you spend $10, they'll give you a pound of bacon, okay? Now, I spoke to a local restaurateur about this, and she was telling me how the supply chain is completely decimated right now. And the problems with the vegetable suppliers that are bringing product in that they've purchased and made out, that they've agreed to buy that they can't sell, okay? And again, it goes back to the onions. It goes back to these issues that we haven't even figured this stuff out yet, how bad this is going to be. So when you think about your local businesses that are closed, our food's going to be a real problem down the road, and I see that. What else? So the local restaurateur, this is a family business that's been there for 50 plus years. I've known this woman since I was a kid and have eaten there forever, okay? This is one of those places that you eat at that's an experience place. And what I mean by that is it's not, you don't go there for a quick bite and get out of there. You go there and you get the bread and you order drinks, and then you get your calamari, and then you get your salad, and then you get, let's look at the specials. Let's get this. Let's get, the rigatoni. You're going to spend quite some time there. In fact, the last time my brother drove down from where he lives an hour north, we spent 3 hours at this place, okay? She's had to close this restaurant, 100 employees, and they're trying to figure out a plan to reopen. But again, reopening, they're going to have issues with suppliers. They're going to have issues with how they deal with customers. Plus, I don't know how this place is going to do it because, again, this is the type of place that people go to see this family, and they're not going to be there, okay? So you're not going to have access to them is what I mean by that. I spoke with a prominent contractor last night, and they just lost the San Diego County Fair. San Diego County Fair has been a big part of their business. They sold over 100 jobs last year from the San Diego County Fair. How do you replace that? I don't know how you do it. And, they're looking at getting PPP money that they were, put off for. A good-sized company should get it, and were, denied funding. Oh, it ran out, from the last batch. So we're going to see if they're going to get it. But think of all the people, think of what you do on a summer day for fun, the fairs, the Scottish festivals, the concerts, everything that you go to, whether it's the rodeo, whatever, okay? These things, think of the people that work there. Think of the food that gets sold there, the drinks, the alcohol, the parties, everything, these bars. I mean, this is going to really decimate the world. Here in California, they have no plan for us to open up yet, and it's just hurry up and wait. We're just seeing real problems with this. The unemployment, I spoke to the restaurateur, she's seeing problems because some of these employees are making more money on unemployment than they would if they worked for her. And which leads me to a story. There's in Washington State, there's a woman that owns 2 health spas and gets PPP money, a loan for each location. Good for her, okay? She gets just over $220,000. And sets up a conference call and FaceTiming all our employees and said, I've got great news. Come to find out these people are pissed off. They're angry with her. They were making more money sitting on their ass at home than they would working for her. Now, I was stunned by this, and I started asking people, what do you think of this? And of course, the younger the person was, they were like, you know what, it's about time people realize how little money people make. Well, what about the responsibility of wanting to get out of your house and go and work? Now, I, for the love of God, do not know how a health spa is going to be open right now to save their lives. I don't know how you could do that right now, okay? But I'm sure that they're going to work on it. I'm sure that they wanted to ramp up getting the place going again. The other thing is a biotech company that I work with had a online event yesterday that I wanted to support, and the real problem with the science side of things right now, from the medical end of it, is that these companies that develop things that are related to the current situation, okay, I can't even say it on here, but let's say it's a diabetic foot ulcer you've got. They can't do clinical trials right now. There's nobody to test this stuff. So there's no new drugs being developed right now that's not related to this. There are medical devices that are being delayed because of this. And it's a real, real problem with this. So it's finding someone to do this. So that's what they tasked me for. And people have reached out today as, hey, do you know anybody that are doing these clinical trials that we can talk to? So again, this is one of these things that you're just seeing so much that we don't know about, that's not getting done, that are people that are affected by it. I don't know if you want to call this a rant or if you just want to call it an update or whatever, but just, again, try to work your plan, try to be kind, try to support the small businesses that are open, that you can buy things from, and not the big guys if you can, okay? Because these people are hurting. And you're gonna, we learned all these lessons from the '08 mess, and we didn't. We learned nothing from that. And you're gonna see that these people took advantage of it, and they all scratched the back of the people that they cared about, which were the bigger customers over the little customers, and all these things that they made movies about that we all heard, oh, this will never happen again, and how could these people be so horrible? And it's the same dirty players doing the same thing, okay? But people are going to lose their houses, they're going to lose their cars, they're going to lose everything during this time. And again, try to work a plan, try to be as kind as possible to people, and try to figure out what you can do to support this. And don't piss away your money right now, okay? When you can work, when you can bring money in, do it, okay? Good luck to everybody. Reach out. Going to have some more information on some of those lawsuits that are coming out, and some lawyers I've reached out to. I'll have that in the coming days for you. Reach out in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and tell all your friends. And I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Good luck, and be nice to each other.